Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Chat with Amita, Sri Lanka's first LinkedIn live talk show. And now it is Sri Lanka's longest running LinkedIn live talk show. I have been running this for 62 times. It's the episode number 62 today. And I would like to welcome all of you who are joining me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube as well. So sometimes we have international audience, and if not, it's mostly Sri Lankan audience, or sometimes it's from the Asian region. So welcome all of you. It's 8:30 uh, in Sri Lankan time, and let me talk a little bit about myself and about this show. So I started this show during the pandemic 62 weeks ago. Originally, when LinkedIn rolled out LinkedIn Live, I am one of the first people who started using it. And then I thought, okay, me coming and talking, why don't I start a talk show and bring other experts so that they will share their knowledge, experience, and help the fellow LinkedIn members to grow. And it doesn't cost you anything. You just have to grab a cup of coffee, sit somewhere, and then listen to the conversation. And of course, join the conversation whenever it is possible by way of commenting, sharing, reacting, etc. And talking about myself, I am a CEO coach. I'm an executive coach and I love coaching CEOs. I have number of local and foreign CEOs under my coaching umbrella, and we work together to enhance their performance, their leadership, and taking their career to the next level. And I really enjoy that. Other than that, I also work as a personal branding strategist. There are many business owners and corporate leaders who come to me and they come and tell me, "Hey, Amita, I'm planning to change my industry." And I suddenly realize that I'm only known in this industry. What do I do? So we work on a strategy, we decide where they want to go, and I help them. And especially when it comes to professionals, I mostly do it with professionals. And maybe if you are a musician or whatever, and I'm sure there are others who could help you. But when it comes to professionals, I have mastered that. I have hundreds of clients under my personal branding coaching umbrella. Apart from that, I also work with B2B organizations, helping them achieving B2B sales goals. And then I also advocate when it comes to digital transformation of organization. So we have few friends who have already joined. I'll talk to you, but let me talk about today's episode. Now, you have heard about great resignation, where hundreds and thousands of people have left their jobs, moved away from big cities, and then people call it great resignation, great transformation, realigning, many words. Uh, Talking about this part of the world, there's this wave of people becoming entrepreneurs. They want to leave the corporate world. There are some people, sometimes they talk about, the corporate world is bad. No, corporate world is not bad, but maybe it is not for everybody. Leaving the corporate and becoming an entrepreneur also is not for everybody. Ask me, I'm one of those who jumped out after working in the corporate for 20 years and then found out where I belong. So, since there's this question, should you leave the corporate career to become an entrepreneur? I thought I better bring someone who has already done it to learn about the pros and cons, the advantages, disadvantages, merits, demerits, and someone who has also figured out what to do after some times, I guess. So I need to find out whether she has figured it out. So let me invite Imesha Gajavira to the screen. Good evening, Imesha.
Hi Amita, good evening.
Welcome to the show. And there's a lot of listeners uh, who have joined the show, waiting to hear your story.
Yes, and thank you so much for inviting me for your chat today.
Yeah.
Let's see
So
how it goes.
let me say hi to a few of our friends. We have Dilani Samantika. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, she's one of the top content writers in the country. She has joined us from Facebook. And we have Tamit Veerasurya. Tamit is the host of my next Facebook live show to help entrepreneurs. We are starting a show and we have planned to do it in the month of February. Everything is done. So Tamit is the host actually. So thank you, Tamit, for joining. We have Kavita uh, joined from Facebook. Thank you very much for joining. And then we have Dinuka um, joining all the way from Africa. Yeah, Dinuka, you are doing a great job leaving the country and then, going to a faraway place, working for a Sri Lankan multinational, bringing US dollars to this country while helping some of the African countries to grow. I mean, we are very proud of you and I'm so glad that you have found time to be here. Those are some of the friends. Looks like Imesha, you know some of them too.
Yes, Kavita is from India. I should remind she's joining from India.
Yeah. Kavita, thank you very much for joining from India. Okay, so let me uh, ask you a few questions. I always talk about the childhood because it could make a huge difference in what you are doing today in every person's life. So I always ask about the childhood, the school time. What were you doing? Were you a notorious kid or not? All that. What do you want to say about your childhood?
Well, yeah, if I talk about my childhood, it mostly revolved around my school. So I schooled at Visakha Vidyalaya. So I should say that I was one of the most clumsiest students ever because there were several times that I actually went to school without taking my school bag, without taking any books because I simply forget. And then like after just like stepping inside school, I would like suddenly remember, oh my God, I left my school bag at home. And there were times that I had to go back home and then take the school bag and come back to school. And that particular those incidents actually like my teachers couldn't really believe me if I really did that because I mean like no one would really forget their school bag when they're going to school. So I had to stand at the school gate several times staying alone until my father or someone gets me the school bag. So several stories, and also I remember few times I I was because anyway I was a late comer. So I have a nice memory at school. I just wanted to avoid the queue. I mean, like avoid getting caught to prefect. So what I did was I left my school bag at the gate, and then I just walked in. And later I forgot to take the school bag inside to my classroom, and then I was just walking around. And I remember like around 12, 12-ish, like after so many hours a bomb squad had come to school for some reason, and later I figured out it was because of my bag like lying there. This was during wartime, so entire the yeah, entire commerce section was outside the building because of that bag. And yeah, and then I was scolded a lot for doing such silly things. But yeah, so that was me in childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can
So
imagine now.
there are so many. Yes, there are so many memories. If I talk about, like, I can go on, but um, I'm really happy that certain things, the observations, the things we learned, the personality, everything was shaped from school. So what I am today right now here is mostly because of my school. I would say that and give the gratitude and respect to my school. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all will agree with that. Yeah. Okay. So let's say hi to Buddhika. Buddhika says, "Good to see you guys." Hi, Buddhika. Buddhika is a friend of you and me both, and he's another
Yeah.
top entrepreneur involved in automobile industry. You know, if you are looking for that great car, you need to talk to Buddhika, and Buddhika will get you that, be it unregistered or registered. Talk to Buddhika Ratnayaka, Car Zone Lanka. Yeah, okay. uh, Buddhika, you can even type the name of your uh, car business. I can show it to people here. That's the advantage of coming into my show. I mean, now Dilani
and
came
I
and I said,
I second
yeah,
that.
exactly.
And I
And
second that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your childhood dream? Were you looking
Okay.
at any particular
Um.
thing to do? I mean, people say, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a lawyer, you know, the typical dreams that kids do have. Did you
Yeah.
have anything like that?
No, I don't. I really didn't have anything like that in my mind. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't bothered about the world outside school and what I'm gonna like do someday to earn money. If you ask me about my childhood dream, I think there were two. One
Mm.
was to hear my name in the school loudspeaker. uh, yeah, so that was one, and the other one was to be in the front row of the senior Western band at school. So, and later I achieved both during school time. So, yeah, that was the only two dreams I had when I was a child. Because, I mean, it was a big thing at school, like when your name is announced, because when we were small we heard our seniors are being given credit to the achievement for the achievements that they have done, maybe school level or outside school, or like maybe they have won something sports wise or like music wise, aesthetics, and then they have won prizes, stuff like that. So everyone was giving them respect and everyone was recognizing them. So that was something really big those days. So I wanted to be that, and also for intro because anyway, senior Western band, when you look at it, it's very majestic, and then you can just like uh, lose your emotions and everything, and you can just like look at it even during the sports meet and even during any special occasion at school. The band is there, they're playing, it's very musical, and then especially when you're in the front row, everyone looks at you. So yeah, so I later became a side drummer, and then I was in the front row, and I was happy to achieve both the childhood dreams. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm happy to, get you here on LinkedIn Live and then get everybody to listen to the story as well. Okay. We have Charit. Charit was one of my guests in the show. He's one of the international designers, who are working with top global brands, and he's someone who could actually shape the industry in Sri Lanka. Hi, Charit. Thank you very much for joining. I think, uh, Imesh, I mean, people like Charit and you all should get to know each other. Amazing talent here. I'm so happy. A lot of great people are joining us. I don't know whether Imesha, whether it's you have some kind of a attraction here, so people are joining. So Buddhik has put his business name www.carzonelanka.lk. He's a friend of you and me. You want a registered vehicle or an unregistered vehicle, most importantly a reliable vehicle, talk to Buddhika. Thanks, Buddhika. So we have Madhushi, amazing. Good evening, both of you. Good evening. We also have Shiranta. Hi, Shiranta. Thank you very much for joining. And then we have Rajesh. Hi, Imesh and Amita. He says, hi, Rajesh. Good evening. So my next question, a lot of people. Uh, Next question. Okay, you. went to school, and then of course you did your higher studies, and then what? What did you do? Like, you went to the university, and a little bit about that part, your higher education.
Yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, my higher education. I would say it all started from math stream. I did maths for my A levels. Only reason to choose maths was that I just want to like continue playing around and then still do A levels, because I know if I did something serious like biology, I should study a lot. I should like cram a lot. I always wanted to do a science subject, so I didn't think of commerce for some reason. So I thought, okay, like maths, you just do something and then you can even finish your math in 10 minutes, and then you can go and do your other
Imesha,
activity. So that was
you
the
are
only
giving
reason
a
I selected.
whole new perspective to math. When people don't want to do serious things, they leave out bio and math both, and they jump into maybe commerce or art. And you are telling me you don't want
Yeah.
to get into serious things, because of that you got into maths. I did maths for my A
Yes,
levels, and I'm
yes,
thinking,
because
okay, what did I do? Okay, so
so, so
interesting.
yeah,
So
so
once when you finish that, I mean, then you
yeah,
somehow got
yes,
into the
after.
university.
Yes, I was lucky to get into a local university with a not so dedicated 3 years. Because I would say I'm not a very studious person. I'm not a I was not a smart person compared to the other students that were in my school, because it was really competitive with a lot of very bright students. But anyway, anyhow, I managed to get into a local university. So I finished my degree at University of Sri Jayawardenepura. So my subjects were physics, pure maths, and I did a management component. So if you ask me how I apply pure maths to the work I do right now, only God knows, because I don't think I really use pure maths right now, or like any Bernoulli theory when I'm really designing anything like that. So yeah, so that scattered diverse, and then after that, no, while doing my degree, there was a norm that everyone followed another professional qualification, that you have to do a professional qualification while you are doing your degree. So I was going in that line, and then I started CIMA. So like doing maths and physics here, and then accounting here. So again, it was like um, very diverse, very scattered. But
Okay.
I managed to finish CIMA and later become an ACMA also. So with that, after finishing these two, uh, down somewhere down the line, while I was working in corporates, I finished my MBA. I got into a PIM and then finished my MBA. So that was like one, I would say, one milestone in my life to change certain things.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was
So
pretty much like that. It was
yeah,
very
so let
scattered.
me let me come to your corporate experience. That is also important. So we have Siddhartha Nanakara, one of the top digital marketers in the country. Hi, Siddhartha. Thank you for joining. And Shirant is actually joining from Anuradhapura. Kusalarane is one of the top religious organization, but who are also doing various socially impactful things like planting 100,000 trees around the country, to a lot of child development programs, to a lot of things. Thank you, Shiranta, joining all the way from Anuradhapura at this moment of time. And then we have Shan. Good discussion, professional experience. Wishing to both for all the best. Thank you, Shan, from wherever you are joining. She's joining from LinkedIn. And talking about this corporate world, so you had no choice but to join a corporate organization and start your career. Is that is what is
Yes,
expected
because
when you are
anyway,
out of the university?
that is what is, yes, that is what is expected from everyone. So like all of my colleagues, my same batch friends, they all were applying for jobs, and some actually started working during university, when they were in third year, they started working. But I didn't have like something. I didn't want to be hurry. I really wanted to enjoy the university life, so I was just, um again, I was doing so many extra activities at uni. I was singing, and then we were like doing like multiple things, so I didn't want to lose that fun. So after uni, I thought, okay, now time to apply for a job. And then all the job applications, when I apply, everyone is asking for previous experience. So like, even becoming a fresher, like you are a fresher coming out of university, and even for an internship, sometimes they ask for previous experiences. So I was like, okay, right, this is really weird, but anyway, somehow try to get into something. And then I got an opportunity as a management trainee with my CIMA background. This was in the finance field.
Okay.
I
Okay.
really didn't like to, I mean, follow that, but I didn't have a choice. I thought, okay, I really need a job right now, so let's get into this. So this was in one of the most diverse conglomerates in Sri Lanka right now. So it was CIC. I got into that, and it was the industry was really uh, I would say it was not a boring one. It was into agriculture. So
Yep.
during that, so I joined as a fresher from management trainee, and then I ended as an accountant. It sounds very boring, but it was not a typical accountant role. Otherwise, I wouldn't have really like continued there for like 3.5 years.
Okay.
Um, as a fresher, I learned a lot of things there, because we had to travel on and off seasonally. We had to travel to the fields to meet farmers and talk to them during Yala and Maha. So I was out of Colombo for seasonally. I was out of Colombo in Munaragala, and then around Anuradhapur area. We had to go there and stay there for weeks during the season. So yeah, it was not a typical accountant role, so per se. And then if you see the if you pass Talava road when you are traveling to Anuradhapura, you would see huge silos on the side of the road. So those that was the project that I was in, and then we used to climb those silos and be on the top and then take pictures. So it was like that. But later, after 3 years, I realized finance is really not my thing. I didn't
Wait,
like
Imesha.
the
No,
work
you
I
are
did.
not going there. You are not going there. Wait, I'm going to ask you those specific questions. So we have
Yes.
Munir. Munir is asking, we miss your story. Why do you select SEMA? Oh, I mean, it's a good
Oh,
question.
yeah.
I mean, while there are so many
Yes, it is.
other professional paths that you could have taken, why SEMA at that time?
Yeah, that's I think that's a good question to really start me thinking why I selected finance instead of doing marketing or something like that. So simple reason was my cousin started it. So I had a elder cousin. So it was like me and him, we were very close, and whatever he do I do, and he gives me advices, and he started doing SIMA. I was thinking, oh, maybe this is a must. You should start a professional qualification while you do something. And then I started SIMA. So yeah, it was really irrational. Um, and then later he stopped halfway. I think he finished only the first stage, but I managed to finish it. Yeah, so it was like that.
Okay. So uh, my next question is, before I go to the next question, while there is a some audience here, you were talking about music all this time. You were at the band and you like music, and even at the university you said that you did some extracurricular activities. Music, music. Shall we look at your music ability? I forced you to bring uh, uh, an instrument. I really don't know what instrument
Yeah.
you are going to bring, and then maybe even you can sing a little. I mean, you know, a piece of song or whatever. You want to surprise our audience here, if you don't mind,
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, right now, yes. Upon your request, Amita, I got an instrument with me right now, but it's very it's a very unconventional one. It's actually not an instrument. This one I really like. This is a normal kale, the mati kale you can find in Pillav and all these areas. So I started playing this when I was in school. This is not an instrument, but instrument is something that you use to make sounds
So you
that
made it
will
a
be compatible
you
with your
made it
music.
an instrument. And then, I mean,
Yes,
looking at your
yes.
personality right now from what you have been doing, I would be surprised if you choose a traditional instrument.
Yeah. So I didn't want to be boring today, so I just being little innovative. I got this. I don't know you if you all can see that. Yeah.
Yes.
And the sounds might not be perfect because I'm just using a normal mic, and this is like really sensitive. You have to have a really sensitive mic, but let
We'll
me
give it a
try
try. We'll
this.
give it a try. Yes.
And yeah, and okay, I have picked a song. I'll sing half of it. um, this is again to make this is is Thursday evening, and then people are heading to Friday tomorrow, so you can't be sad, you have to be happy. So I'll just make it little uh, upbeat. Yeah. Amita, you can tell me if you can hear the sound well.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Yeah.
it?
You could bend a little so that you will be close to the
Yeah,
yeah.
right. So I'm gonna mix this oriental sound with a western song. Okay,
Okay.
right. Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wondering most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is not coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven I have seen. I'm on the top of the world now, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find, it's the love that I found ever since you've been around. You just put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind is calling my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasing sense and happiness for me. I'm on the top of the world now, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find, it's the love that I found ever since you've been around. You just put me at the top of the world. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I
Wow.
hope it's clear enough. Yeah.
Of course, it is
Sound
clear up.
might not
See,
be perfect. Yeah.
my
Yeah.
duty is to get the best out of my guest. And now I think I also give some credit to myself. I think I'm pushing my guests to the edge for them to do their level best. I mean, if anyone has got goosebumps, I just got them here. Thank you so much. It was brilliant. And you are the second person who sang on my show. It was earlier Charaka Pereira and Shane Vanderwall. who sang on this platform for 1.5 hours, around 2 hours, uh, 2.5 hours, I would say.
Okay.
And you are the second person who sang. Amazing. I mean, now I don't have to ask
Yeah,
anything.
I'm actually happy to I'm actually happy to bring this to your show, Amita, because I know, I mean, I've known you for like 3 years now, and I met you at a very special milestone in my life, and I've already told you that I think we'll be talking about that in later questions.
Yes.
And also, like, I wanted to bring this because not everyone has seen this. Other
Yeah.
like normal conventional instruments you would see on TV, on YouTube, and stuff like that. But this is kind of rare. So yeah,
No,
I wanted to
Nimesha,
bring it
what I
here.
see is, the 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 most important part of it is be yourself. What you just did is be yourself, be authentic, be dare to be different. We just don't have to
Yeah.
comply to the social. Of course, you don't go and do anything illegal, but then, unless and otherwise we break some of these traditional, or when I say not every traditional thing is bad, some of these unrealistic things, you just did that. This is, I mean, every youngster should see it. I mean, I'm not surprised right now that you left corporate world. I'm not surprised because you can't be this creative sometimes in some of the corporate world organizations. They have their frameworks. Yeah. So let me give you some comments. Um, Now we have Mohammed Nazli, another top sales professional and a marketer in the country. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. We have Mutupal Soisa. He's an international business manager in one of the top local companies. Wow, amazing. Now you must be wondering how come I remember all these things. Yeah, so Dilani is, looks like it is one of her favorite as well. And of course, I can see someone who knows you, Madhusha Alvis, amazing cuisine. We have Lakshmi says beautiful. Tamit says beautiful. Uh, Tulanjani, wow, superb. And then we have Minji, good stuff. Rarely you get professionals who are musical, beautiful souls. Wow, uh, fantastic. And we have Kalum Ratnayaka, happy to see you again. Hi, Kalum. Thank you very much. Joining from YouTube. And then we have Shadley Fernando. Glad to be here. Yes, of course. I know these are the moments that I feel, okay, I should continue this. I have done this for 62 episodes. Thank you, Imesha, for giving me inspiration and energy to continue. So my next question, was there a triggering point in your corporate career? Okay, I think I need to move on. I need to move out. I need to become on my own. I need to start a business. I need to become an entrepreneur. Or maybe like, no, I don't want to stay in corporate. I need to get out and do something. Was there a triggering point?
Well, so there were, since school days, there were instances where we um, came up with ideas to make money when we didn't have money. For an
Mm,
example, I remember when we were in school, again, this was in the senior Western Bed, we were going to do a small concert. Not a small concert, we were planning to do it in at BMICH. And then there was so we needed money, so we were looking for sponsorships and stuff like that, but we couldn't find that budget that we were looking for. So then me and another few friends, we got together and we were thinking, okay, but no, we really need money, what are we going to do? So what we did was, so at our homes, some of our moms are into stitching, so they have wool and what do you call that, threads at home. So we collected all these, and then we did friendship bands. If you have seen those little colorful friendship bands that girls wear, yeah. So we
there
learned
was
that,
a,
and then we
I,
did it.
I'm from that generation. I mean, we passed
So yeah,
those. passions and fads.
Yes. So, yeah, so we came up with this idea and we got in together. We got one of our friends, she hosted us at her place. We went there and then I think we did like more than 100 for sure. Um, all handmade friendship bands. And then we just had a table in front of the canteen and then we sold it and everything got sold and that was I think that was the first time we did something to make money at school. And later, I would say after getting to corporates, and I think I missed a part. So after CIC, once I left finance, I got into research and innovation. Um,
Okay.
because I didn't like finance anymore. I wanted to get out of it. So again, it was at LOLC, and all I mean anyway in corporates you have set of rules, you have to adhere to them.
Of course. Yeah.
So I think the most troubling thing for me was actually to come on time and keep the fingerprint. And it doesn't matter how long you work for, like it can be until late night, it can be like even you come home and work, you work on weekends, you work on poor days, but still if you are late for like even for 5 minutes, if you can't keep your fingerprint on time, then you're being judged. So I was like,
Yep.
okay, what why it's like that? I mean, like what matters is sometimes you have to be a little flexible also, but yes, I understand there are rules that you have to adhere to when you are working in a corporate. So like these little things actually, always giving
Started.
me the even always poking me, okay, are you in the right place? I mean, even being an accountant, I feel like you always do post-mortem rather than really looking at what you should do out there. So I felt that this is not my fullest potential, so I wanted to get out. And while doing my MBA at PIM, I would again remind that place because um, so we every one of us was doing projects at the end of the MBA. So my project I picked entrepreneurship as my project. So I wanted to really give it like a good framework and start something. So that's where I really started. I left corporate and then started on my own. So yeah, I
Okay.
would. Uh, those were the sciences.
So now all these things, all these questions that I ask you and the answers are actually is helping the audience even right now before even I ask you whether at what point someone should leave the corporate or should someone
Mm.
leave the corporate world at all. Some of these things will tell them, they can resonate with them. I mean, what am I doing? Am I good at something else? Things like that. So
Mm.
let's talk about your
Mm.
venture, Pabora and Omra. Which one you want to talk about first, Pabora?
Yeah, that's what I started first. So yes, I'll talk about that first.
Yep, go ahead. We want to
Yeah.
know about it.
So okay. So Pabora is Amita. Shall we play that video first? Then we can have a better
Yeah,
idea.
of course. Let me play the video for you.
Art. It makes everyone look at it, stare at it, get lost in it. Turning human imperfection to a masterpiece of detail is what we as artists thrive to do. They say that the devil is in the detail. We look into the mysterious its kind in the world, making you a part of it. This is what makes it precious. This is what makes it rare. This is what makes it you.
You know about it now.
Yes. So Babura, um, I would say I already had some uh, little bit of what do you call, like entry wedges to that industry. But at PIM, like I said, as my first project, I came up with a business model and then really started looking at it, and that's how I started Pabora. So what we do is um, we customize and we manufacture precious masterpieces with precious metal and natural stones. And starting from the scratch, from virtual today, I was able to feature Pabora at one of the top designer hubs in Colombo, to Design Collective, to Tribe Bessel, to Numa, and yeah, all these places. So I'm actually happy to become a designer, not not coming from a professional fashion designing background, but a boring accountant or boring finance, but really pursuing what is inside you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, interesting. So let's look at Omra.
yeah. So for that,
You want to
I
first
will
say,
share my screen.
yeah, please,
Yes, I will. Yes, yes. I will give a little bit of um,
brief.
yeah, a small brief about it. Yeah, so while I was working with Pabora, so what we come across resources, natural resources. So then you, after a while, you realize how limited they are, how, I mean, how far you can go like that as an industry. I mean, you and I and a lot of people would agree, over the years, if you look at Sri Lanka over the decades, there had been a decay in natural resources. I mean, even for a gemstone, for it to happen like that, it takes millions and hundreds of years. And right now, more man-made things are coming into place because you can't find, or like natural stuff are like very rare. So I was thinking, okay, why not you look at something sustainable, something that is eco-friendly, and something that you can, if you can change the perception of people, let's give it a try and see. So what I did was we came up with um, jewelry again with alternative material like ceramic, clay, and even in future I'm looking to focus on upcycling like waste wood, waste metal, and stuff like that. So again, starting from scratch, it's again 100% handmade product that is manufactured by local community who has the skills but really don't know how to take their skills to the market. So I was again, it's, I would say, like Omra is like my pet project. I really like it because you are really helping out a lot of people, and again to like bring that industry to another level, um, in the country. So I was able to take that brand to again few fashion hubs in Colombo, to Numa, and then try Bessel, and again Urban Island. We launched at Urban Island in last December. So Urban Island again is the one initiative of AOD, Academy of Design. So I was really happy to get there and get to other places, again being, again not coming from a professional fashion designing or like jewelry designing background. So I will just show a little bit of what we have right there.
if you have sound, you can.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun.
Yeah. And this is the work in progress pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
And all these are made out of clay and ceramics and hand
I
painted.
guess you're on Instagram. What's the name of the page?
Yeah, it's Omra Life.
Omra Life.
OMRA Life. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think everything is pretty much available there.
We have few well wishers here. We have Senira, who says all the way pubs must be a friend of yours. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we also have Dhammakusala Swamin Mahanse joining from Anuradhapura, from Kusalarana, who helps the society and especially youngsters to get out of drug addiction to so many other things. And I know why Dhammakusala Swamin Mahanse is coming here to get inspiration. Probably Swamin Wahanse will have few inputs for youngsters over there as the options that they have rather than getting into drugs or anything like that. Wahanse Rat Ping. And then my next question. You just told us what is Omra, what is Pabora. So coming back to our now, I know why you left the corporate world. But who should leave corporate world, and at what point should they leave corporate world, or should they leave at all? I don't think entrepreneurship is
Yeah,
everybody.
that's yes.
Is it?
I also believe in that, Amita. Yeah, I also believe in that. This might be not for everybody because so according to my experience, I what I would see is like, okay, if you are going to leave corporate, you should be, if you are going to be an entrepreneur, if you are like starting from the beginning, you should be someone who's willing to forget about your status quo
Hmm.
because you don't have a title anymore.
Okay.
You can't introduce yourself like you're so and so in this big company. You can say so. Even myself, as soon as I come out of corporate, I
You
can
become
have
nothing.
you become nothing. Yes, you can have a degree or double degree, or you can have masters and stuff like that, but you will say, okay, I have my jewelry brand, and they would say, "Ah, okay, a jewelry brand." We-
Okay. They give
that's
you this weird
yeah, so it's
weird
like
look.
that. Yes, because I have gone through that. So you have to really let go of your status quo, and then because no one is ready to listen to you or listen to your story once you have really achieved something, or if you have something big to show them, then they would believe, or then they would listen to your story. But until that, you are just no one. And um, and for the first time, you are at the other side of the table. You are not the customer anymore. Now you're the vendor, especially in a product like this. You have to be really, you have to handle your customers well. You can't be impatient. You have to be really patient and listen to them. Whatever they say, you have to um, entertain them. And then so it's like that. And again, on the other side, it has to be someone who's ready to compromise on your comfort zone, give up on your
Your package
luxuries
is
because
gone. Your package is
your
gone.
package is gone. Yes, it's not like you are getting your fancy salary at the end of the month. So
Every
maybe
day is a
you have
struggle.
to,
Every day is a struggle.
yes, you have to forget your next shopping date, or when your friends are going out, you might be able to skip it. You might have to skip it. um,
Yep.
and the next thing is you have to be resilient towards the efforts without results, because you you can make efforts to make something work, and still it can be the 150th time that it's gonna be a success, but all 149 times you will fail. But you have to be resilient enough to come back and look at it in a positive way, and then still hold on to that. And even
So
for me,
wait,
some
wait.
days there had
So
been.
so if you don't have that courage, that your ability to take it forward, even when you have failed in the 149th time, you better stay at the corporate world.
Well, I would say, Amita, the best is that if you really want to start something on your own, if you can do both for a while to really see, okay, if you can go out there, you have something to fall upon if it doesn't work. But if you're really good risk taker and you really want to be on the extreme side, then like me, I left corporate and then I started thinking, okay, now I should like really go behind or like earn more than my salary, or that's how we start.
So
So
Imesha,
yeah, it
one more
depends
thing.
on your
Now,
personality.
yeah, now I see one more thing. Now you had a skill, you had a hobby, you had a passion. So as soon as you came out and when you were looking at options, you had few options on the table. Okay, I can make money or I can be an entrepreneur based on my hobby, based on my passion, based on my liking. So would that be a good way of looking at what do I do once when I jump out?
Yeah, I think it's again something might start to talk to you. I have seen people without just I mean like going it alone. Yes, if you're alone, you can go faster, but if you have someone or if you have a team, you can go far better than that. So if you can get together with a similar mind, as a like mind people, and then look at their skills and to see if you can merge it, and then like start very lean and start take small steps towards that. I think you won't um, fall
As
like
hard
that.
as,
It,
yeah,
as hard as you all know, if you don't have anything else, or if you don't, if your earning is zero, then yes, that is a problem. But I think if you can like do both for a while and see if you can, if you are really into that, if you can really forget about your status quo and forget about other stuff and do it like that. And you have to look into your inner skills. I mean, me being me being into finance and all these research and innovation, all these stuff, it was so far away from what I'm doing right now. But today I'm doing things that I never thought that I would do. I have, apart from Pabura and Omra, whenever I have time, I looking to increase or like looking to explore new skills, new expertise. And right now, even I go to I moderate people. I moderate talk shows like this. So I was never that before, and I have more time for social work and stuff like that. And right now I am handling um, public relations in some international charity organizations and representing Sri Lanka. So like that, you have your potential is very, I mean, it's limitless, it's immense. So if you have that thing inside, that's the only thing that takes you and then keeps you going even if the hard times comes, because you're
okay,
not stressed with all these works. It's your passion. Yeah.
yeah. So we, Muthumal says, great, good insight. And then we have Hemanti Hettiarachchi, you are awesome. Mm, you're inspiring a lot of people here, I can see that. And my next question is, uh, the support generally you get, not only you, from the society, from the people around you once when you jump out of the corporate world to be on your own. You want to say anything about it?
Well, yes, it's a good learning. Um, if you're lucky, you will have few close friends who will be with you. And I should give gratitude. There was one friend of mine. He came to all my pop-up sales. So pop-up sales is where like when we were virtual, when we didn't have physical space to really showcase our products. Um, we faced a lot of challenges, and like we had to go to these pop-up sales. So there was one friend who came for everything. He would give hand to like you even lift tables, and he would be there, talk to people and bring in people. So if you're lucky enough, you will have not a lot. Yes, you will have a lot of friends who will like support you and say good things, but who will be really there when you need someone. It will be limited. I mean, you have to understand that as well, because it's your decision. You took that decision to come here. You can't expect other people to come and help you all the time. So if you're lucky enough, there will be one or two people like that. And then again, um, there were another two or three friends who actually placed orders with me. So that's how you start. You start with peer groups. So then you will make more sales like that. But apart from that, I think it's unfair for you to expect things like that. But if you're in a similar community like that, a set of entrepreneurs, a set of business people, then it's different, I think, because they are in the same platform like you. So you can pass referrals, you can refer people, and you can talk them, and you at least keep aside business and everything. You can share ideas, you can talk to them. If you have a problem, you can ask them, okay, I'm facing this, maybe they have gone through that few years ago. So now you talk to them and you ask, okay, what's going on and what I should do. So all these things help. But society at as a whole, I don't think you should even expect that kind of a support if you are like jumping into the deep sea.
Okay. So we have a great comment from Chatura Kalansuri. Absolutely. It is leaving one job to start 100 more jobs. That's entrepreneurship. You got to do everything by yourself. So being through that, an accurate insight explained in perfect ways. Keep growing. Good luck. Thank you, Chatura. These are the kind of inputs that we expect our audience to come and give us. If you have gone through, if you have done it already, come and share your experience, and then everybody will learn and grow together. I don't know, Imesha, whether you know Chatura?
No, not really, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. See, but then when you tell a story, it could resonate with someone else's story as well. Yeah. So we have come to the end of the show, right? We have spent about an hour. So I have a question like, at last, you want to say anything, or give a great message to those people. I mean, if you are thinking whether to do it or not, I think we have covered that section. I mean, if you go back this entire discussion, you will be able to figure out whether to start on your own or not. But then to those who are starting, taken that decision, and okay, in 2022 or 2023, I'm going to be on my own. You want to give some points here?
Yeah, okay. So mm, it's going to be challenging, Amita. So there will be things that you can control, there will be things that you can't control. So things you can control, so uh, you will have mini heart attacks on and off when you have deadlines to cover, when you have like if something happens to your order just before the delivery date, or it can be something like you have employees, you have to take care of them. And then uh, and then again, especially when you're in a startup, you have to be multi-skilled. Whether you like it or not, you have to be multi-skilled at the beginning until you find employees, because uh, you have to find your resources in-house. So in my startup, at the beginning, I did my own photography from my mobile phone. I did post them on social media. I replied to customers like a staff member, and then get the number and call again like another person, and then say, okay, this is someone else. And then so we have to do that. And I went to the extreme where I do the delivery by myself, because these are like more valuable stuff, you can't really trust any delivery partner like that at the beginning, at least. So I did all this stuff, and then again, there will be a point where you will really feel like, okay, have I done the correct decision? Especially, the best example is if you take last 2 3 years, Amita, we had East
Yes.
attack, we had COVID. So, I mean, East attack, I mean, in industries like this were really hit. I mean, keep aside the big industries, but small and medium industries were really hit. And it is out of control. We can't do anything. But if you can look at other options like, maybe to go online, or like, see if you can uh, have an e-commerce site and then push your products like that, or something in that aspect, you might have to think of. Or there can be, again, that's why I said you have to compromise on your comfort zone. You have to, yeah, you might have to give up on your luxuries, because you have to hold on to that until you come out of that situation. So all these things will happen, challenges will be there. But if you are going to continue that, are you going to continue that? It depends on your inner ability. And again, I would say, if I mean, in a situation like this, in a pandemic like this, some industries did well. So sometimes you might have to forget about your baby and then enter into some quick trades and like
Survive.
other industries to make quick money and survive, and maybe come back to your baby or your pet project later when things
True.
are okay, because surviving is the point here when during a pandemic. If not, you might have to even forget about your baby. So I think the message would be that it's nice to be on your own, because you are your own boss. You don't have anyone pointing finger at you. But again, you have to push yourself. And again, like that, during these kind of situations, when tough situations, you might have to look at other options and be little dynamic in to look into options to survive, and then come back. So I think I myself did that, and it was, I think it was um, like a blessing in disguise, because I ended up having more skills and also joining some other businesses also. So yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. Amazing. So, Imesha Gajavira, the founder of Pabora and Nomra, thank you very much for agreeing to come on the show and make it completely different. I would say, it's not you sang, you played the instrument, you shared your amazing story. Thank you so much. I can see why you don't want to fit into the normal standards, and I can see that you will have a brilliant journey on your entrepreneurial journey, and then you're going to impact the society in a big way. That much I can see. So I would like to wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Amita, and thank you for having me on the show. And I wish you good luck on your talk show. I wish this will reach the thousands episode somehow.
Yes.
And like I said, Amita, you were there at a very important milestone in my life. So like I said, I remember the exact words that you told me in a earlier platform that we met. um, yeah, so I always have my gratitude to you towards that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay. So big thank you to our audience for coming, commenting. So many comments today. That's how inspiring is your story. Thank you very much for commenting and joining us. Do join us for another exciting episode number 63 next week. So thank you very much. Everybody stay safe and good night.